Good morning, everybody. I say good morning, everybody. That's there's nobody in the chat at the moment, but hopefully there will be. So we've got a live review again. Just trying to get everything set up, and this one's by request. So this is for Bob, who's specifically asked for, well, mentioned this would be a review he'd like to see, and I promised him I would try and get one done this morning, so here I am. Just having coffee at the moment. Haven't done much in the way of building. I've done a bit more than usual. I got the seat belts done on the Ford Escort, which was really, I don't know. That was so draining me. That was. I know they're just two seat belts, but I just couldn't get motivated to do them. Once I'd done them out of the way, they look really good, I must admit. It's all hands to the deck again. So I got a little bit more done on the Ford Escort. Starting to catch up with everything, because at one point I had 3-4 kits out that were only just started, but now I'm sort of looking at 3 or 4 kits that are almost finished. A lot of them. The worst one I think is probably the Spitfire, but that's because that's being done as a live video build. And I've got the house to myself today, so if the phone rings, I've got to answer it. If that's the case, I'll probably pause the recording and come straight back once the phone call's ended. I'm not sure how we'll get around that one yet. Right, so what are we reviewing? Well, we're reviewing this V22-OSPREY. I got this from Hobbycraft a few weeks back. It was in the sale. They were normally about 40 quid, 35 to 40 quid. But as you can see, I managed to get that one for 20. One of the very, very few times, might even be the only time, I've known Hobbycraft to sell something cheaper than literally anywhere else. Normally, even the most expensive shops are cheaper than Hobbycraft. I don't know how they manage to stay in business myself, but I got this one, and then I got the Discovery set down there, the Revel 1/144th space shuttle and booster rockets, and I got that for a tenner. So anyway, that's the kit. We got some nice box art on it. It's a picture of a, I don't think that's a photo. I don't think it's a photo, but you never know. It's a very good picture. Nothing on the back, just various, you've got a picture of all your sprues on the side, and just the general Italeri type box. Now then, this kit was first released in 1989. It had a brief reboxing from testers, I believe, in around 2000, and then we jumped to 2013. It had some new parts added, and the most recent one, 2012, it had a rebox, so a new box went on it. Apart from that, that's the only history this has. So we're gonna Oh, we need to open it. It's not been opened yet. Coming from Hobbycraft, I should really have opened it up as soon as I got home and checked it. It's a few weeks ago now, so tough luck if there's any damage. So, oh, come on, you bugger. Let's just flip that camera down now. So we're on to here. Now, crew not included. This is a tight fit. There we go, and it's an officially licensed product, so that's good. It will have had access to the Osprey itself. That's quite heavy, with all that plastic in there. Don't know whether I really want to sit it in there like that. So let's just pop that down there. Now, hopefully my sprue rack will be big enough for this to sort this out there. There's the instructions. Right, so it's one big bag of sprues. I didn't know Italeri done that like that. I thought wow, that blade's blunt. It's a clear part in there. So we'll just stand these in the rack, and then I can pull them out one at a time and put them back as and when I need. That'll probably be the first one. So there we go. Right. So first up, we'll have a quick look at the. There's a small, a very small decal sheet. I can't imagine that that's all that the Osprey had on it, given how many decals are on jets. But there we go. Does that say cartograph there? Did I see a cartograph? No. Well, I don't know. No, printed by Zanchetti, Bucinasco, MI, Italy. Well, I think cartograph is in Italy, so I don't. You read into that what you will. I don't know this other company, but they look okay. They don't look too bad at all. I've got no experience with Italeri decals at all, so I honestly cannot tell you whether they're good or bad. I'm not going to give out information I don't know. So we will. I will just leave that there. Right, instruction manual. Now then, if I'm right, yeah, they do these. I don't like the way Italeri do these, but there you go. There's not a lot you can do about it. It's just one big fold-out sheet. So we've got our sprue map here, and it's got all our information, our colours. Nice to see. There's only 8 colours. They're listed in Model Master and Model Master Acrylic. No other colour listed there, I don't think. No. So it tells you additional additional ballast needed. So, you know, I don't know how much that's saying there. 920, no, 20 grams of this insert ballast. So, look for that symbol when you're building, and when you see it, if you've got liquid gravity or anything like that, you put it in, or you're using fishing weights or tire weights off the wheel rims off cars, that sort of thing. You need to glue in there where it says. So we'll start on section 1, and you can see, all of you, most of you, unless you're very new to this, will, pardon me, understand what's going on here. So I'm not going to teach you, what's the saying, don't teach your grandmother to suck eggs or something. So, you know, the seat's going together, the base of the I keep thinking of it as a helicopter, and it's a mix. It's like a hybrid. It's a weird one. So we'll the base of it goes sort of around here. It's almost got a helicopter shape, but it's also, I don't know. It's weird, but I do like it. And then we've got other bits and bobs. These are looks like the 2 external. These would be like the rotor engines that go on each side, and these are the rotors here that they've cut off just so that you can see. Please don't actually cut them off. If you're new to modeling, I'm not saying you should cut them off. They're just that's a diagram, and they're just missing the ends there. So once you've got the sort of unit together at the front, and you've got your wings, stabilizers together, and you've got your rotor engines on like this, then you put your rear tail section on, which goes together quite easily, and then you start adding the rotors and that. So actually, I am wrong here. There is no rotors on there at all yet. You put them on here and here. So it just goes to show. And I've actually missed. Here we go. This is the joy of doing it live. 1, 2, 6, 7. So forget that bit. We're 3. Yeah. So oh dear, what a never do a live review when you first got up. So fuselage together, or the base together, should I say, the sort of carriage part of it, and then you've got all these internal sections going in by the looks of it. Remember, I am looking at this upside down as well, and then your wings are going together here with and these are the rotors, the sort of top section of the rotors in the center. And again, I don't know what this is. I'm off this bit now, so we're here. Don't know what this is here. I'm not exactly sure. Oh, it's the engines. So this is like the rotor engines. And the rotors go on beneath it, or the spindle in the center does, put it that way. For just making sure I'm in the right place. And then we come to where I was earlier. Come along. Which is number 6. And again, that's what I said earlier. The engines go on, tail goes on. Then your rotors get added. Now we're bang up just to have something colour to work with. But there you go. So that was a rather appalling look at some instructions, but there we go. Like I say, never do one first thing on a morning, especially not when you haven't even finished your first cup of coffee, because it's bound to go wrong. Right, this is the clear part. I think this is going to be more important than usual on these, because the clear part's quite big on it. So little imperfections are going to be revealed more than normal. So it's actually got some riveting detail on it. Some nice riveting detail on it, and outlines, panel lines as well, where the framework is, which will help with, will definitely help with masking this off. I don't know whether there's a mask set. I would assume there is somewhere. I haven't had an opportunity to look, but it might be worth getting one. It's quite a thick frame on that. Let me see if I can show you. So we'll come in. Normally this plays up, but we'll come in, and I'm going to move it about. I don't know whether you can see that. No, try the other side. Let's go with that off, because sometimes that works better. And on again. No, it's not going to show up. I didn't think it would. But there's quite a thick, I'd say a good couple of millimeters wide. Pop that back in the bag. And then let's crack on with the sprues. We'll do the big one first with the fuselage. So it's a 148. It's going to be quite a big kit. You can see, looking at that it's I don't know how long that's I don't know, 30 odd centimeters at the most. So somewhere around that region. So we go in close. It's I think that's raised panel lines, which is a bit of a pig. I don't like raised panel lines. Oh, we've got some recessed. They're in the minority though. Lots of rivets. Let's come back. So not a massive amount of detail, but you know, I doubt there's a massive amount of detail on them. Pretty bare on the bottom as well. We've got a couple of recessed. Are they recessed on the bottom? But very, very basic, really. No, you're not going to see it. Yeah, a couple of lines on the bottom. We've got some nice sort of detail work in the rear. So obviously you're going to be able to have I would guess, because they've put this detail in, you're going to be able to have the ramp open or closed. I would probably opt for open myself. There we go. That's quite nice. I quite like that. Painted up with a wash, that would look really nice. Then when we come in, we've got other areas where they've put details in. Looks like this could be some sort of control panel on the outside, maybe. I don't know. Detail up them wires. And then we've got one on the other side. This is the engine, I think. Looking at the shape, I think this is the engine. So let's just come back. Yeah, we got two of them and then two the other side. Now these have much more detail on them. Again, raised panel lines. Not a fan of raised panel lines, but that's primarily because I don't really have the skill at reproducing lines when they get damaged from sanding. And with raised panel lines, you know, you really need to change most of them to sort of regular panel lines. And I'm just not very good at it. I'm still learning though, and hopefully this kit will give me the chance to perfect it a little bit, at least a little bit better than I am at the moment. So there we go. There's sort of the top of the engines there, or turbo fans, I guess, on there. But it's going to be a decent sized kit. As I say, that's going to be a decent sized kit. Don't have anything to compare it with to give you a sense of scale. So hold on, this is a 1/24 Spitfire, so you know it's almost the same length as a 1/24 Spitfire. That's about, pop that in there. Then we come to the next sprue. Now this has got the wings as such on them, where the engines with the rotors sit, and yes, we've got some nice detail going on here. We've got some rather deep panel lines now. We've gone from one extreme to the other. I don't know how they'll look when they're painted, but for now, we see you've got these, what I consider to be rather deep compared to other things I've looked at. Let me just... Oh, whoops. So they to me seem a bit excessive. Although I do quite like them, I must admit. And then the rest is sort of... we've got some sort of detailing at the back. And along there, I don't know exactly what those markings are for, what they do, or anything like that. So that's... and then coming down, we've got the rotors. Are they two-piece rotors? I'm just having a look. See, I think they might be two-piece rotors. So the bottom glues on underneath, and then we've got these are the little spindle things that I said with the rotors that had been cut short, so that's them. Then we've got you'd call a nose cone, really, that just, you know, goes over the front of the front of the rotors, acts as a nose cone. And we've got the first lot of tiny parts coming through that will need adding on. And again, lots of detail on these. These are the, I think these are the bottom halves that glue on. And just to give you an idea whether we've got a bit of... is that because of... Let's try that. Had a bit of a rolling screen. There we go. Nice detail there. And there's some sort of extended a flap or something go there. So that could be them there actually. So another sprue then. And then we've got this. So we've got, I recognise wheels. So we've got some wheels. Nice level of detail on them. These obviously some sort of flight control sticks, I guess. And then I'm starting to remember what's what now. So these I think are the rear, maybe the rear stabilizers. And then we've got, this is what the front, the rear where people sit inside. I think this is the base. I think, and this may be the door. I am totally guessing. It certainly does have that look to it. And then I guess we've got some sort of internal like structure, and this could even be a private to the cabin. So I don't know, or maybe further on down for some sort of firewall. I don't know whether you can get doors in firewalls. And again, on some of these, when you look on the inside, we've got some internal detailing, which is unusual. We've got a couple of EPM marks on the inside. They don't appear to be in places that would stand out, so you probably get away with leaving them. Just trying to think. That's about everything on that sprue. Then we've got the last two. These are smaller sprues. And we've got things such as window wipers here. There's not a lot else I could tell you on that. Some sort of probe or refueling. This one here, refueling probe or something. I really don't know. And then we've got these. Now these actually look like they're interior bits. I'm not sure. They might even be exterior control points for mechanics, but they've got a nice level of detail on like the back wall. You can see there's electrics or pipe work or something, you know, brush it up as you want. It could look really nice. And then coming on to the last sprue, these are the inside of the rotors, and these look to me as though they could be these extendable flap things. I'm not sure, but they look as though they could fit on the underside of there. Again, a guess. So, and that is the Osprey. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope it helps you, Bob. I hope it helps you decide, because I know it's a kit you've been wanting to get. So don't forget, chaps, tonight it's Wednesday night tonight, so it's live show night, or live stream, whichever you want to call it. We normally go live around 8 o'clock GMT, but sometimes it runs a bit late. It depends if we're having trouble with YouTube. One night it had to be cancelled. That was because just something went wrong with YouTube. I don't know what exactly. Are we going to focus in? Yeah. So it'd be nice to see everyone there. If you're not already a member of Sprue Surgery Waiting Room, go to Facebook and join that. Then you'll get all the links that come to you when there's a hangout on, or any messages or anything like that. We're doing really, really well at the moment. I'm really pleased. We're up to, last check, we were up to about 411 subscribers now on YouTube, and 72 subscribers on Facebook for the Sprue Surgery Waiting Room. Really, really pleased with that. Thanks an awful lot. My target, last year I managed to get over 100, which I was amazed about. And then I set my target for this year. This would have been back in the last year. I set my target for 250 by the end of the year. We've hit that, overtook it, and now I'm setting my target at 500. Baby steps, don't want to rush. Look forward to seeing you all again next time, next review. Not sure what it's going to be. It'll be something though. And don't forget the show tonight, and join the waiting room, Sprue Surgery Waiting Room, if you haven't already, and then you'll get the link sent to you and everything. So bye for now.